am showing you the best way to grow your hair at little to no cost to you. My number one tip to hair growth is that it's not about the products, but it's about your good practices, your methods, and your regimens. Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Sashelle, and I have a good one for you today. If you haven't already checked out my hair journey video, what are you doing? What are you doing? Go ahead and check that out. I'll put it in the card right here, and that will show you basically my journey to healthier hair. And I want to thank you guys because I got a lot of positive feedback from that hair video, and basically I got a lot of person hopping on and joining my family because of that video. And I told you guys that I would give you my hair regimen, which is not even a big deal, but it has worked for me, and I know that for a fact it can work for you, and that is what I'm doing today. Now, first and foremost, before I go into the video, I want to let you know that I'm not really a firm believer in products, and I'm more a firm believer in good practices and regimen. I basically incorporate certain techniques into my regimen, and that is what has worked out for me. And I believe that this is even better for a person because then you don't have to be spending so much, buying so much expensive products to get the results. So without further ado, let's get into the video. I want to talk about balancing moisture and protein. Now, we have some products that is moisture based, and you have certain products that is protein based. Basically, what you want to do is keep a balance. So you want to have enough moisture and protein in your hair. Overly moisturized hair will look very limp, very weighed down, very scrawny looking. But then a hair that has protein overload will basically look very coarse and very hard to deal with and very rough. So you want to create that balance. So when you create that balance, your hair looks like it has a lot of volume, it's thicker, but it can comb through easily, and it is manageable. As a quick example, I have a Tresemme anti-breakage conditioner. This is a moisture based conditioner versus this olive oil organics hair mayonnaise, which is a protein based conditioner. Now, what I can recommend is that if this week you do protein based conditioning, next week you do moisture based conditioning. But what I do, my personal thing is that I'm always wanting to ensure that I have enough moisture and protein. So every time on my wash day, I work with both. My night routine now incorporates babying and giving some tender love and care to my ends because I am prone to damage. My ends sometimes just go bad, and then I have to just trim them off and start all over again. So what I do, I try to retain length, because sometimes the reason why we can't retain length is because our hair is damaging from the ends, and the ends are the oldest part of the hair and what is prone to damage. So if we can work on the ends, that is how we can be able to retain our length. So for my nighttime routine, I incorporate the LCO method, and that is basically liquid, cream, and oil. Section of my hair into 4 big sections like this, about 1.5 inches of my hair. What I'll do, I'll just go in, I add a little liquid leave-in conditioner, then I go in with my contour or water. I'll go in with my contour and kind of rub it down on it, and then I'll go into with the oil and I'll add it to my ends, and basically I will twist that up and then I'll pin it up. So for liquid, you can use a liquid leave-in conditioner or even water. Water is equally as good. You want to add a cream-based leave-in conditioner. For my leave-in conditioner, I will use my Cantu leave-in conditioner. So for the oil, I'll incorporate a mixture of all of these, or I'll use one off. So you can consider coconut oil, olive oil, argan oil, jojoba oil, almond oil. You have a lot of these oils that are very good for your hair. I will link it down below the package that I get. And basically the liquid will allow the hair to be saturated and moisturized. The cream will basically add that extra moisture into the hair, and then the oil will basically seal in that moisture to ensure that it locks in the moisture. Some persons use the lock method where they do liquid, oil, then cream, but I personally do liquid, cream, then oil. Now, if my hair is just freshly relaxed or it can be wrapped, then I'll go ahead and I'll wrap my hair and then tighten a silk bonnet, or you can use a silk pillowcase, and that helps with retaining the moisture and not pulling on the strands. Okay guys, I used to have issue with my hair breaking on one side. The right side of my hair was dramatically shorter than the left side, and I used to wonder like, why is this even happening? And I realized that I used to always sleep on this side of my head. It was the friction from sleeping on this one side, so there's not a lot of circulation going on this side, and that affects your hair follicles and can stop it from growing. So incorporating, trying to switch sides, and I know like when you're sleeping, and I mean this is probably reaching too far, but I have incorporated that and I really saw some results in my hair. Every week on Sunday, Wednesday and Friday I will practice a particular routine. So on these days I will ensure to grease my scalp and moisturize and seal. I know that I mentioned I had a holy grail product in my hair journey. Well, this product is, drumroll please, Jamaican black castor oil, and that is the only product that I can say I have been faithful to, and that is what I know for sure had been a staple product in my regime and a staple product in my growth. So I use Jamaican black castor oil for my roots and for my scalp, and I grease my scalp every Sunday, Wednesday and Friday. Now on these days I also moisturize and seal my hair using the LCO method. That is what I do on a weekly, and then I twist up my hair. If my hair is just freshly relaxed, I will go ahead and I'll wrap my hair, you know, the normal wrap, or I will add a little roller set to the end so I can get a little bounce at the ends, or I will just go ahead and twist my hair up in like 4 big twists, pin it up, and then that is basically my weekly routine. My monthly routine now incorporates getting a very deep treatment, and normally I use the Apogee 2-step protein treatment. Protein basically build back the resistance in your hair and make your hair strong and more resistant to breakage. So protein is always good, and most times we kind of break down the protein in our hair when we do our perms and our relaxers. So it is always important that we replenish that protein. And then I also sometimes incorporate my own little homemade little mask and little treatments. Sometimes I will steam my hair with aloe vera, the egg wash, or for Jamaicans, you know, we have the tuna plant. I will use the tuna plant in my hair too, and I'll do that monthly. So that is my monthly routine, guys. Always ensure that you have adequate protein in your hair and you're basically replenishing your hair with the protein that it has lost throughout the month. So one of the main reasons why us with our 4B or 4C hairs have problems with our hair growing is because of the things that we use in our hair, and the small things that we think don't make a difference, things that has the most impact and affects us the most. And basically what we use in our hair, for example, I don't ever use small tooth combs, including no rat tail comb. Those type of combs will pull on your strands and they will pull out your hair and they will break your hair. You want to use these big wide tooth combs. Those will detangle your hair as best as possible and it won't snag on your hair and pull it out. So you also want to get rid of that brush that we love so much. I know that we used to love to use the brush and we kind of come like this and we pull it in and we pull it in, and we don't want that anymore. So I've gotten rid of my bristle brush and I don't really use bristle brush anymore. I use a Denman brush, but I understand that persons might have hair that needs those bristle brush for it to be as neat as possible. But be careful when you are using those brush because those pulls on your hair and can cause damage. Also, when you are combing your hair, you want to ensure that you comb from tip first. I know persons say comb from root to ends. I don't know who come up with that and why we are practicing that, but you want to ensure that when you're combing your hair, you detangle from your ends. So you detangle your ends and you work your way up. This is how you do it. A lot of the time, the damages that we get is not necessarily that we have to have them, but we are not practicing the correct procedures. So I always comb my hair from the ends and I work my way up a little at a time. Then I get to the root and then I comb it down. This is another thing that we Jamaicans love: elastic bands. Stay away from elastic bands. Those are your worst enemies. I mean, like, name me one time you use elastic band in your hair and you don't see at least a strand of hair being pulled out. I'll wait. Yes, that is not possible. Once you use elastic bands, the fibers in an elastic band, the rubber will pull on your hair and it will take out some of your hair with it. If you want to catch your hair up into one, or however how much you want to catch your hair up, you want to ensure that you use silk based scrunchies. But if you are not able to use silk based scrunchies, you can go for the cotton scrunchies, but ensure that it's not the one that has the rubber bands in it. Another key point that you have to remember when you're styling your hair is that you're never going to catch your hair up in the same position all the time. Now I know some persons, they always have their hair around here. Always. And that causes a lot of tension in that part of your hair. So you want to ensure that you're rotating where you catch your hair. So if today you catch your hair right here, tomorrow catch it here, the next day catch it here, that is because you're kind of giving your hair break and time to breathe. If you continue to catch your hair in one position, you will find that that part of your hair will have a lot of tension and you will be losing parts of your hair like that. Another thing that had helped my hair is protective styling. And I know that some persons like, but why am I growing my hair if I always have to keep my hair up? Well, as for me, a lot of persons didn't even know that I have long enough hair, and that is because my hair is always in buns, or I'm protective styling in wigs, or I'm basically having sew-ins. Protective styling is your best friend in trying to grow your hair. The more you leave your hair alone, the more it grows. And I know persons come and they say, use this, use that, and you have to spend millions of dollars on product. But to be honest, the more you leave your hair alone, and I can't stress this enough, your hair will thank you and you will see the result. Now with my hair, having a style like this is a protective styling. All I have to do is oil my scalp, and when my hair come out, I can guarantee that I will have at least an inch of growth in probably a 2-month stretch if I have this in for 2 months. Your hair is comfortable and protected under these hair, and basically it get time to breathe and it get times to grow. Okay, let's talk about relaxers now. See, the first time that I stretched my hair, when I wanted to really go for a dramatic stretch, I stretched my hair for 6 months. And after the 6 months, you'll be like, whoa, what is happening? You could see the line of demarcation between where my hair was progressing versus the parts of my hair that was badly damaged. And that 6-month stretch was the best thing that I ever do to my hair. No, I am not telling you to go and do a 6-month stretch, because what works for me might work for somebody else. What is good for the goose is not necessarily good for the gander. So basically you have to know what works. But what I do know work is that limiting your relaxers does a big deal for your hair. On a regular basis, my strategy is to not perm my hair for more than 4 times for the year. Relaxers basically break down the protein strands in your hair, and the protein in your hair is what allows your hair to grow. When you break down the protein in your hair from relaxers, it makes your hair a bit weaker and a little less resistant to damage and all of these things. For me, 3 months or 4 months, then I relax. Sometimes walking around with very nappy hair, and I don't care because I'm working with growing my hair, and that is that. My hair was very thin and brittle, and reducing my relaxers has done a great deal for growing my hair. Cutting and trimming your hair is paramount also to ensure the growth of your hair, and that is basically, you can't repair damaged ends really. What you can do is ensure that you retain length from the new growth that you get, because once your hair is damaged, there's not really much you can do to those parts that are damaged more than to cut them off. So with that being said, trimming is a must, cutting is a must, sweeping and dusting your ends is a must. And how often do you do this? I personally get a cut every time I do my relaxers, and that is because naturally my hair is prone to damage. I don't know why every time I do my relaxers my ends still look a bit so basically I try to get a trim. But if you are not prone to damage ends, there is no need for you to cut your hair. Then you can cut it like once a year or twice a year if needs be. So let's go into my wash day routine. You can incorporate a pre-poo. And what a pre-poo is like what you add into your ear before you shampoo, and normally this is done the day prior to shampooing. You have different types of shampoos, but basically shampoos get rid of the dirt and debris. Most time it clarifies your hair and kind of get rid of the moisture. A lot of times you get rid of your own natural moistures in your hair, so you want to basically pre-poo. And what pre-poo does is that even though you use the shampoo and it gets rid of some of the moisture, it doesn't get rid of too much of the moisture and you still have moisture in your hair. And you can pre-poo with even aloe vera, and you just add the aloe vera into your hair the day before you're gonna wash, put over the plastic cap over it, and then you sleep with that, and in the morning you wash that out, and then you persist to go into your shampooing. Now for shampoo, you have different type of shampoo. You have moisture based shampoo, and then you have protein based shampoo. And as I tell you, I always try to balance moisture and protein. So I like the TRESemmé brand because it's bigger, it lasts me a long time, and it's not as expensive. So I use the anti-breakage shampoo from TRESemmé, and basically I use that as my shampooing, and it's moisture based. If you have a protein based shampoo, go ahead and use that protein based shampoo, or you mix the two of them. Now, to be honest, I don't really care for shampoo that much. I don't think it offers that much. I don't think it really offers too much benefits to your hair more than to clarify. After shampooing now, I have my conditioner, and you also have moisture based conditioner and you have protein based conditioner, and I use both. So I use my TRESemmé anti-breakage conditioner, and I will balance that out with my organics hair mayonnaise, which is protein based, and I use a little of both of them at the same time, and that is what I use for my conditioning. So I know you must hear about deep conditioning afterwards, and deep conditioning, you have certain deep conditioners, but in my opinion you don't have to go out and buy a deep conditioner. Using a good conditioner is equally as good, because deep conditioning is really about the technique and not really about the product. So the strategy with deep condition is that you will add heat to your conditioning. So basically it will go into your hair follicles and it will go into your pores. So when you are using your conditioner, what you can do when you apply the conditioner, get a plastic cap, or for Jamaicans a lather bag. Enough time use a lather bag and put over my ear. But anyways, yeah, so get a plastic cap, put over your hair, and then you want to go under a hooded dryer for a couple of minutes. 15 to 20 minutes is good enough time. If you want to go up to 30 minutes, even better. And the heat from the dryer will basically open up your pores and your hair follicles, so the product can basically seep into those pores, and then you can basically get the most benefit from your conditioner. If you don't have a hooded dryer, use your normal dryer. Put on your plastic cap, use the dryer and kind of circle around it so it gets into all the hair follicles. So I always do that at every wash day. Now after you have deep conditioner, you have to think about drying. Drying, you want to ensure that you do not use heat, as heat is your worst enemy. The moment I stop using heat in my hair, or let me say minimize, because sometimes I cheat and I use a bit of heat, but that is on rare occasion. The moment you stop use heat in your hair, you will see a dramatical difference in how your hair is. Now what I do is basically when I come out of the shower, I wrap a towel around my hair, wrap it up and look cute, go about my business, get my lotion on, put on my oils, go about my business, and that is for like a 30 minutes. After the 30 minutes now, I go in, I spritz my hair with my leave-in conditioner from Cream of Nature, and once I spritz my hair with that, I let it out so it basically air dries. A lot of persons warn against towels because of the cotton fiber. I personally do not believe there's anything wrong with it once you're not rubbing in your hair. So I know that we have a tendency to go in with the towel and we're like and we're rubbing it in, and we don't want that. What you want to do is just ensure that when you put in the towel and you're drying your hair, you're kind of squeezing like this, so it does not snag on your hair and it does not pull. So once it dries now, then you going into moisturizing, and basically I use my Jamaican black castor oil. I moisturize my roots, and a lot of persons warn against putting oil on your scalp or grease in your scalp. I think that has been the major turnaround for my hair. I've always greased my scalp and I had no problems. I guess it's what you use that really caused the problem. But my Jamaican castor oil on my scalp is a must. Is a must. And I go ahead and I do my LCO method that I had mentioned earlier with my liquid leave-in, my cream leave-in, and my oil. And then I go in and I twist up my hair. And guys, you want to ensure that you pay attention to the product that you use in your hair. You want to follow your right regime. You want to ensure that you moisturize and seal. You want to ensure you deep condition and follow a good wash day routine. You want to ensure that you give your hair protein by doing your protein treatment, and most of all, you want to ensure that you include Jamaican black castor oil. It is a magic product. As you can realize, there's no other product that I dedicate to more than this. Over time, I change up what I use, so I can't say use this, use that, but I can tell you my methods. But Jamaican black castor oil, not just castor oil, Jamaican black castor oil had what had turned my hair around for the better. I had thin, very thin and limp and brittle hair, and that is what I know my hair from my hair was natural without any form of chemicals till now. And I've never been used to hair that has been thick. So when my hair turned around and it got so thick and voluminous, I knew for a fact it was this, because this was the only product that I had dedicated to. Always remember, it is health over length. Let go of those loose ends. Don't be like me. I was holding on for too long with ends that were not even ends. And another thing is dedication. As you can see, I had a 3-year growth progression. It was not an overnight thing. It happened gradually. I just tried to dedicate, teach myself patience, and basically pulling through no matter what. So dedication and sticking to your hair regime will definitely grow your hair. So guys, that is it. That is my hair care regime. I gave you all the details on what I do and basically my best practices. You can see that I did not incorporate a lot of products. That goes to show that you can achieve what I have achieved if you just give a little time to your hair and be patient and just give your hair a little tender love and care. Guys, let me know what other hair related videos you want, and for those who have not already watched my hair journey, go ahead and click the video in my end screen and you can go ahead and watch how I progress from very brittle damaged hair to better quality hair. Let me know if you want to see the routines that I mentioned, how you feel about these hair videos, and what else you want to see. Guys, don't forget to like, comment, and share. And for those who haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and join the family. We have a great family around here. And thank you all for your support and your love. Ta-da!